everyone, my name is Jaybird. I need a drink. I did a great job of fucking up my own intro. How long have I been doing this? Over a year now, and I still managed to fuck up my intro. Anyways, let's just jump back into it. I expected more from myself. Oh. Not. I guess I can just skip this, can't I? Oh no, I can't. No, I can. Have a nice meal. Thanks. Thanks. I was trying to eat as neatly as I could. No chomping, smearing the food, or spilling the compote over myself. It seems that eating like a human and not like a hog was not that hard at all. As usual, Lena remained silent, which means I should start the conversation. Going to the dance tonight? Probably. She was silent for a while. And you? I don't know yet, though I didn't want to go there at all. I didn't like dance parties since my school days. Why so? What do you mean? My mind was still far away in my school times. Why don't you want to go? I didn't say I don't want to. Okay then. But if you're inviting me... Lena turned red and looked away. Oh. I don't really... Sorry, just kidding. I felt confused. I'd better not joke like that. Fine. Lena said indifferently and focused on her food while her face... I can't talk today, I don't know why. While her face turned even more red. Oh yes, look at that red pigment on her face that you can't see at all. I mean, there's this... I can't tell if there's like a slight blush or not, but... Why am I stuck on this dance as if we have nothing else to talk about? But wait! Is there actually anything? By the way, maybe you know what Jinya wanted to ask me? Huh? I mean, when I just came in, she wanted something from me. I don't know. I see. The conversation reached a dead end, so I tried to seem fully focused on my meal. Oh yes, I'm fully enthralled by this food. Lena finished her breakfast first. I should go. See you later. See you. Bye. I was finishing chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. How would you know what that tasted like? I wonder if they have internet access here? I guess not. A pioneer sitting at the next table noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved to him in return. Smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food. It's time to search for some clues. Sometimes the C's and the L's are just so close that I can't tell that it's actually a C and an L, not a D. Wasn't there a game like that before that I played where the C's and the L's were really close together and I couldn't tell if it was a D or not? Is that Seduce Me the Otome or something else? I can't remember. I can't remember anything anymore. Sometime later I finally came to the infirmary. I have nothing to do in that place, though the nurse seemed quite caring. It's better to keep a distance from her. No! I want to be all on that nurse. I want to be all on that nurse. Such benevolence is actually scary. She may know something, but I just hadn't the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to. Not a single one. Then why are you here? Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse who was standing on the porch. Hi there. Oh, yeah. Hi again. Strange, she seemed more spirited during lunch. I thought that was breakfast. What? Unless I was talking about something else. have to say, no, Olga Dmitrievna asked me to help her tonight. Maybe I shouldn't have lied to her. I think I should think before I say something. Oh, really? And what exactly are you going to be helping her with? It was turning out bad, but I decided to stand my ground. Her cabin. She asked me to clean it up, sort out the things, and so on. But you know what a mess the cabin is. Sure, she asked you to tidy up her closet too? The nurse looked at me so intensely that Napoleon's fiasco at the Battle of Waterloo seemed now all a small annoyance compared to my current flop. Ah yes, historical references! Ha ha ha! Hilarious. I wish I had a fucking history class where I could actually remember half the shit. You know, in history class, we don't even really care about other countries, and at least in the U.S., we normally just cover U.S. history. I mean, I guess it makes sense because I did take U.S. history classes, but there's not like any other classes that... I mean, there's more to the world than the USA, and I think a lot of other... I don't know about other countries, but I think it's the same thing too, where they're biased towards their own country and they don't really cover anyone else's history. But like, if it's a history class, it should cover everything, even if it's not related to your own country. Because, I mean, just because it's not related to your own country doesn't mean that that country doesn't affect the world and could affect you in the future. So, I don't know where I'm going off on a tangent. I really don't need to. I was going to say something, but she continued to speak. Okay then, Pioneer. We'll manage it without you. I apologize, but you see, I said and looked at Lena. She stood looking at the ground like before, blushing more and more. It's alright. I'll manage it on my own. Okay then. An awkward silence followed. I wanted to sink into the ground because of my lame lie that had probably offended Lena. Well, goodbye then. Bye! The nurse was still smiling spitefully. I turned and walked away, almost running. Though in fact I really wanted to run, common sense advised me not to. Can I skip? No, I can't. Can I? I came back to my senses when I reached the square, right? No, wait, no. What was it? What was the... I came back to my senses when I reached the square. So, what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Though having a wristwatch is much easier. Suddenly I heard a different tune, which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. Can I... Who cares? I'd better keep on looking for answers. Whoever that is, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? What? I know, didn't I say that last time? I don't remember. I said that somewhere. I have better things to do. I came back to the leader's cabin. Olga Dmitrievna was laying lazily on her bed and reading a book. Lying lazily on her bed, reading a book, whatever. Simeon, what are you doing here? That's what I could ask her too. I've forgotten something, so I came back. You were absent at the lineup. Oh yeah, I apologize. Alright. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today. Just as I planned. But I have my own vision of what useful means. Like, you could go to the square to help with the cleaning. Slavia is in charge there. Strange, I just been there and hadn't seen anyone. Or you could visit the boys at the electronics club. They asked me for a hand. Those fathers of invention again. Finally, you could help at the sports club. What are they up to? They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing the goal nets, and so on. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Slavia! Why is she always trying to burden me with work? Seriously, except for Slavia, no one ever works here, while some people in particular are enjoying their free time with a youthful spirit. It's like I came here, like, I'm only here for a week and you're putting me to work. Like, screw you. Screw you. I want to enjoy my like, who... Realistically, if you were sent to a camp and they were only having, like, 1 week left of the camp, Like, why would your why would your parents send you so late? And two, why would they be putting you to work? They should just let you enjoy your time because you paid for it. Like, I mean, I get other kids working, but like, I'm only here for a week and there's only 1 week left. This is not like the last week. No kids should be doing anything. Except, like, enjoying their time. Like, come on. Come on. Every one of the leaders' attempts to keep me busy seems to serve only one purpose, to prevent me from finding out my current location. Really, all the deep and vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom, together with all the rubbish and litter. The rubbish. Rubbish. Who says that? Only, Europeans, I guess. In my case, taking some time to work would probably pay off, but just like someone suffering gangrene and rejecting an amputation, I will stand by my beliefs. You know, I already had my own arrangements. Oh, really? What kind of arrangements? She bucked up. Well, I can't just tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? No, it's too dangerous. At least now I maintain a fragile balance and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way. Just as I thought. What exactly she thought remained secret. You probably have not yet realized how important it is to participate in social life. This is the only way to become a pioneer capable of being a role model. For who? For who? I didn't want to sit through another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answers in this world can be found in the most unexpected places, or at least so I wanted to believe. So, should I choose for you? The leader's voice turned authoritative. I can do it myself, thank you. I mumbled and left the cabin. I'd rather help Slavia, yes. Always choose the lesser of two evils, they say. Well, of three in this case. Slavia wasn't evil at all, so my choice was obvious. Any rational being keeps his house clean, but I usually perceived house cleaning as somewhat akin to gym workouts. Yeah, it's a good for you, but not my sort of thing at all. However, I liked ideas of painting It's so good for you! It's so good for you! I'm sorry. It turned Italian on me, and I just had to. However, I liked the ideas of painting benches or of helping two future geniuses of Russian or Soviet science even less. There were about a dozen pioneers at the square. Where did they all come from, I wonder? Where'd they come from? Where'd they go? Where'd they come from? Canajo. I've been dead a long time ago. If it weren't for Cotton Eye Joe, where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I've been buried a long time ago. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I don't know. Americans. Rednecks. I approached Slavia. Hi there. Oh, hi there. Oh, hi. You've come to help? Well, not of my own free will, of course. I thought it over again. I see. Take this broom, or your area's right next to the monument. Frankly speaking, there was nothing to sweep there. It seemed pretty clean to me. Though some rubbish was still laying around. What's all with this rubbish everywhere? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. After sweeping for a while, I came back to Slavia, who was sitting on a bench and taking a break. What a nice day, eh? What are you, Canadian? Yeah, though it's a bit too hot. She shaded her eyes with her hand and looked up at the sky. You're like a tireless worker of the communist labor. Aw, come on, I just like to help others. That's good. And what about you? What about me? Well, it seems to me that you find community service a bit of a burden. Well, probably. Why is that? I don't really know. Seriously, she can't expect me to just unload all my ideas concerning this point on her. She might drown in them, God forbid. Maybe you just don't like company? That's actually quite possible. There was some truth in Slavia's words. I suppose that she was good at reading other people's minds, or at least reading mine. Though how can that be possible if even I find it hard to understand myself at times? What are you going to do when this session is over? What do you mean? Well, are you going to enter college, or do you want to master a profession? And, USSR, I always forget what USSR stands for, even though it's like I know what it means, but I keep forgetting what exactly it stands for. Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Yeah, no kidding why they call it USSR instead. I love that they abbreviate that, because that is a mouthful. Okay, that's a mouthful. A person finishing the high school typically had to choose between either getting a college degree, typically achieving a status of engineer or scientist, or going into a secondary vocational school, thus mastering a profession. Huh. I've already achieved grand mastery at all of my professions. Watching anime and surfing the internet. That's all you need. I don't know yet. What about you? We have a small farm back home, so I went to help my parents there. Sounds pretty strange. Are there any private farms in the USSR where all the farming has to be collective? But I decided not to go into details. Why? Why? It will help you learn. It will help you learn. It will give you insight. And what are your parents doing? My parents were not a good subject for discussion. Oh. And what are your parents doing? Oops. My parents were not a good subject for discussion because they're dead. It's not that my parents are not good. Quite the opposite. They are kind-hearted people. But it's not the right time for such a discussion. Oh. My father works at the local council. My mother is a teacher. That wasn't actually true. More like half a truth. More like a half-truth. Cool. She really seemed to consider that a cool thing. I guess so. The conversation had reached a dead end, so I was trying to take my eyes off Slavia, and kept gazing under my feet, up in the sky, or just looking around. You know, I'm pretty sure you'll also be fine. Slavia looked at me thoughtfully. Now, what was that for? And what was that also about? Thanks, I mumbled. But what do you mean? I suppose that you happen to be too pessimistic at times. Isn't that way too straightforward? Maybe. But you're gonna be alright! Maybe. After this conversation, I felt ill at ease. On the one hand, there was nothing special in her words. In general, almost any person in Slavia's shoes would come to a similar conclusion. Nevertheless, I felt, and not for the first time, like she could see right through me. So, let's go to cleaning. She smiled and took the broom. I never thought that cleaning could bring such deep pleasure. I know, right? No, I wasn't upset because of this conversation. On the contrary, I was glad to hear that from her. For the first time ever, somebody was discussing my life without criticizing me, without giving any stupid advice based on their own personal experience, without intending to go through my head, and without making some far-fetched conclusions. I was just glad that somebody supported me. No, that's not quite right. I was just glad that Slavia supported me. That Slavia supported me. In a short while, the music played around the camp, calling us for lunch. I put away the broom with a sigh of relief and a sense of accomplishment and went to the canteen. Hooray! We get to eat. Oh. What does the CP stand for in her shirt anyways? I'm gonna run away. The solution came out of thin air. While Olga Dmitrievna was scolding Uliana, I snuck to the exit. Thank goodness it was nearby. Slipping outside, I hesitated for a few moments and ran into Electronic. Looks like he was working till late at the club. At the club! Sorry. Where's the fire? Fire? My shuttle is leaving in 10 minutes. What? Hey, wait! Electronic's words hung in the air behind me. I ran off towards the square. It's definitely not the best place to hide. Indeed, in a state of stress or fatigue, I frequently start talking to myself. Well, not really talking, but rather mumbling under my breath. It helps me to concentrate and find the right solution quickly. Okay, where to next? Where should I go? The best place would be the one with the least amount of people. Consequently, my lies are in the woods. Consequently, my way lies in the woods. Okay. Fuck. Half a minute later, I was already relaxing, sitting on a stump near the forest trail. That was one hell of a getaway. I hope that will teach Uliana to behave. Indeed, she's not a child anymore. She looks like a child, though. Well, sad but true. Not a child anymore. Now a thought crossed my mind. I might have sort of mishandled the whole situation. A fair share of that broken tableware is because of me. Moreover, one might mention that I didn't have to engage in that mess at the beginning. It got me thinking. How's the weather? Sylvia stood right before me. How does she manage to sneak up unnoticed? Thank goodness it's not Olga Dmitrievna. Fine. Those were the only words I managed to squeeze out of myself. You gotta squeeze! I thought I'd find you here. Why? I'm not sure, it's just... She looked up at the sky. There are few people around here. Does Sylvia really think I have some sort of a social phobia? On second thoughts, she actually has a good reason to think so. And what are you doing here? Looking for you. She smiled again, but this time her smile looked a bit different. A little friendlier, I guess. Me? Why? Can't you guess? I braced and prepared for a harsh lecture. I understand that you're guilty to a lesser degree than Uliana. No, the camp leader's assistant is defending me. I felt even more pathetic. Damn, get serious. We're not playing bad cop / good cop here. But if I grant that you aren't gonna help her, you can at least help me. Saying that, Sylvia looked up at the sky yet again. I wonder what she's looking for up there. And what do I need to do? We have to reorganize the books in the library. It's way better than disciplinary enslavement together with Uliana. And anyway, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm all at your service, mademoiselle, or madame. She laughed. Then follow me, monsieur. Ah, now we're all turning French. We're Russians turning French. We're all over the place today. First we were Italian and now we're French. Oh my. In a couple of minutes we were in the library. All the way I kept looking around in fear of meeting Olga Dmitrievna. Looks like Sylvia didn't notice my anxiety. And still, it's quite odd that she hasn't scolded me. Well, if we are to continue our analogy, Sylvia is definitely the good cop. When we went inside, gleaming sunlight streamed through the windows of the library with a myriad of dust particles dancing in the beams. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Everlasting Summer. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!